Well, hello there, everybody in Trinity, Society and Dialogue. I thought it would be a good opportunity here at the end of week 5, the beginning of the mid-semester break, to make contact with you again via this particular medium, make a few comments about the tutorials of weeks 3 and 4. But before that, just some general comments. I hope you're enjoying the unit. I'm very encouraged by the sorts of responses that are being made to the online tutorial and to the questions that are being posed there. I'm pleased to see that there is some nuance in the responses, some wrestling with the issues as they arise. If I have any particular problems with the tutorials, please be assured I'll let you know, but so far I'm feeling quite encouraged by what I see there, and feeling confident that you are engaging the issues and setting down some of the foundations that you need for the second half of the unit after the post-Easter break, after the Easter break. I said to the face-to-face unit during the week that, or stressed to them, that we have really now laid the foundations. We've engaged these basic decisions that have been made by the Christian Church, and which have more or less been confirmed over the centuries, and in many ways have been even reinforced during the 20th century, around the triune nature of God as a fundamental implication of the gospel for the doctrine of God. I'm not going to summarise all of what we've done in the last 5 weeks, but I think I just want to stress that we've been continually engaged, I think, with the question of if God takes on flesh, which is fundamental to the Christian claim, then we are challenged. The ancient world was challenging the Christian faith to offer an account of God that would make this plausible, because it seemed so implausible to the prevailing concepts of God in the ancient world, that God would somehow be less God if God entered the created realm, and hence the Arian challenge to that claim, and then the similar claim from Eunomius after Nicaea. Of course, these are not challenges from outside the faith; these are challenges inside the faith. And I hope in the notes and in the reading you've done, you've picked up some of the reasons for that. But I do want to stress this, what I think is a very real background issue about the sense in which what was at stake was whether or not the Christians could go on claiming that God could enter the world and be no less God for doing so. A related issue to that, which I picked up in one of the lectures, and I perhaps just want to make a little bit more of it, and that was the quote from Frances Young in the preface to her book, The Making of the Creeds, where she said it struck her how much in these debates that she'd been writing about for years, there came a point when she realised, as well as talking about the identity of God, there was also a continuous affirmation by Christian writers of the goodness of creation, which actually allowed the coherence of the claims being made for incarnation. And I think that's a really important point, that I think it's actually dawned on me to see how it's dawned on me during this semester, just to see how closely the idea of God and the idea of creation are linked in these particular debates. And so I'd really encourage you to hold on to that. I think one of the things that often happens in contemporary discussion about the doctrine of the Trinity is that we tend to treat it as an image of God, one among other images. I don't think that's what the doctrine of the Trinity is. The doctrine of the Trinity is a very specific response to a series of related challenges, and when we want to ditch the Trinity, if we did, not that I've seen any evidence of that in this particular class yet, we would be having to say it was the wrong answer to the questions being asked, rather than simply saying it is no longer an amenable image to us. So I think getting on top of some of the background issues that have flowed through this series of topics, I think are the kind of God who could actually take on flesh, and allied to that is this constant Christian affirmation of the goodness of creation. I don't think I actually need to say any more. As I said before, I'm very pleased with what I'm reading in the online tutorial posts. I encourage you to keep discussing with one another these issues, and learn from each other, provoke and prompt one another, and even, as we saw last week, a little bit of joking around as well. So that's good, and I hope that continues, and that you now are in a place to embark on the second half of the unit, when we jump. Admittedly, we now do jump from the fifth century into the 20th century, where the doctrine of the Trinity just took off in directions that took everybody, I think, by surprise. And I hope that you do have good foundations now for engaging these issues that continue to be very much a part of the contemporary theological and ecclesiastical agenda. Anyway, enough from me now. I wish you all a very good Easter. Hope you have a good break, notwithstanding that you have to write essays and things like that, and that you come back ready for an energetic second half of the semester. Okay, bye.